So let me say good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever part of the world you are joining us from. Want to say welcome to the Myers TV show on the sector nutrition and well-being. And tonight we're going to talk about nutrition and well-being. That's the sector we are on for the month of May. And our topic for tonight or on a discussion is natural and processed food. We're going to talk about natural versus processed food. Which one we should consume. As a persons, and this topic is very very important because there are a lot of us today. We just eat anything. We just once we see it, we eat it. But what you eat today is what determine your health for tomorrow, right? So it is a great time for us to be here again. I want to say welcome. Just share the live as many as you can do for us. You can go and share the live. Invite others to be part of the discussion tonight. So it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great one. Let's come and learn together. Let's come and discuss the issue of the thing of this process and natural food. There are a lot of times some of us we we find ourselves due to our schedule, due to our own laziness, right? We always find ourselves being part of the processed food group, right? But some of us who have little strength, we see ourselves being part of the natural food. So we're going to talk about those benefits, we're going to talk about what is those processed food that we're going to look at, and what are natural food, and when you eat the both of them, what are those benefits you get, and what are some of those side effects you have. What are some of these diseases it lead to? So tonight going to be a great discussion. I can show you wherever you are right now. Just invite somebody to follow the show right now. Invite people as many as you can do for us, right? So we're gonna be right back to start the discussion tonight. As one of your panelists on the show, we are still awaiting our host to keep us through tonight. So let's take some musical break. Facebook, we say we own no copyright to the song that is about to be played. This is Miles TV own song, right? This is our own original song, so we say we own no copyright to it. Then we are about to play it. Once we get back, we will start the discussion. And mostly, what made this topic so interesting to me today, because being part of the health department, and a lot of times, most especially coming from the surgical team, a lot of time there are people uh, who have been referred to the theater because of some of the challenges, right? Some of even the food that you eat today, right? Because it causes the diseases that we're going to look at today, right? Cardiovascular diseases, we talk about kidney stone. We're going to look at, heart attack. We will look at all these things tonight. It's come from this particular food that we eat, right? Yeah, so let's talk about it tonight. It's going to be a very good discussion. We are going to share our own insight, our little knowledge on what we know about natural and processed food. So stay tuned tonight as we take commercial break. Once we get back, we start the ball rolling. Thank you.
Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture. Myers TV, Myers TV, bringing light each day, stories that guide us, show the way, one love, one voice, one destiny, welcome to the future, Myers TV, a vision was born with a purpose so true. But when I'm Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey begins. with a purpose so true. Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong, turning every challenge. Yeah. Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream. From Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture, Maya's TV. Maya's TV, bringing light each day. Stories that guide us, show the way. One love, one voice, one destiny. Welcome to the future, Maya's TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stayed strong, turning every challenge into a
So let me say welcome back. Thanks for joining us tonight. It is good that we are here to talk about a topic that is very essential, uh, that every one of us tonight will like to be a partaker of, right? So we're going to talk about natural versus processed food. Why should we choose, right? Those choices that we need to make regarding these foods, right? So uh, we are so excited to be here tonight. You know, time wait for no man, so we are going to go straight right into our discussion for tonight, right? So, firstly, when you hear the word, let's start with natural food, right? So we say natural food are food in their original forms, right? So those food that are formed within their original forms, right? Let's take for example, when those food are the farmers, right? Once they take from the farm, right? Those one that they bring. And what are those kind of food that we're talking about that is so natural? We talk about we talk about those vegetables, right? Vegetables. These are natural food, right? We talk about those fishes, that has been taken directly from the sea, right? We are in it. Maybe you are not going to take it to maybe a place that have been care. You have to get chemical. Those one that is directly taken from the sea. These are natural. These are natural food, right? And it is so good for our health. And another thing, why you think these things are good for our health? Because they play a very significant role. There are a lot of benefits we have, in getting this natural food, right? So we talk about this natural food. We say our food are originally what forms as fruit, right? Vegetables, fish, beans, and nuts, right? And one of the things that the natural food do for us is what they provide vitamins, right? The natural food that we eat, it give us what vitamins, it give us what minerals, it give us fibers, it keep us what very healthy. Why? Why you think that we should eat this natural food? Because these are things that they give us, right? And another thing that this natural food do for our body, one, it helps improve, it help in boosting our immune system, right? Our immune system, it help us a lot when it comes to boosting our immune system. Another thing, improve digestion, right? So whenever you eat this natural food, because of what they carry, right? What happens at the end of the day, it helps you to digest, easily, right? They are very easy when it comes to digestion, right? Digestion process. Uh, Another thing, it maintain a healthy body weight. Natural food, right? are not food that filled with a lot of fat, right? They are not food that fills with a lot of fat. So what happens? It helps us when it comes to maintaining our body weight and increase our energy naturally, right? Whenever you eat the foods that we just listed, we talked about those vegetables, we talk about beans. Whenever you eat the foods, what happens at the end of the day? What are those benefits you have? At the end of the day, it gives you that natural strength. So we are saying that as a person, do not take these foods very lightly, right? Do not take your those beans we talk about eggs, right? Do not take them lightly. We talk about nuts, right? Those various nuts that we have within our country, right? Do not take them lightly. There are a lot of us, we don't like these things, we don't like them, right? It is not bad every time to eat rice, but sometimes you try to add vegetables to it, right? Because what it does, we just stated to you want, right? One of the things it helps us to boost our immune system, right? Whatever goes within our body is something that either it helps our body in a positive form or within a negative forms, right? So the food that you consume should be something that will help boost your immune system, right? Keep you uh keep you healthy, right? Keep you safe. Because once it is not safe, when your immune system is not safe, it start to, there are a lot of how you call it, a lot of negative signal you try to get from that, and which of course it is not a healthy one for us. So we say we should always prioritize, eating natural food, because we say natural food are those original food, where those original food that directly, you don't have to give it chemical, you don't have to try to process it or do anything. No, it is a food that, whenever you plant it, it grow directly. You try to cook them, right? You try to cook them. So it is very important that we try to take natural food very serious. Another thing, right? We want to come to, we talk about processed food. What do we mean by processed food, right? Processed food are food uh, that change during manufacturing, right? Or preservation. Whenever you hear the word processed food, these are food that change. Where it can be the same beans, it can be the same vegetables we talk about, but at the stage of manufacturing them, what happened? They change because some of the manufacturers company, right? They try to give these things chemical because they are doing business now, right? They are doing business, so they don't want to lose, customer. They don't. They always want these things to be in stock. So what happened at the end of the day? They force them, right? They force them to process, right? They force them to process just only because they don't want to lose customer or want to lose partnerships and other things, right? So why you think, right, processed food, right? Why do you think it is not really good for us, right? So I want to come to a place here. Um, Example of those processed food, talk about chips, right? We talk about instant noodles. Most of all, we let the noodles business, right? Those noodles are processed food, right? Another thing, we talk about processed meat. Sometimes you see somebody meat where nowadays they have the artificial food then that they are facing, and which of course it is not really good for our health. It is not good automatically for our health, because whenever we eat this food, it causes serious problem within our system, where it causes serious problem when it comes to digestion, when it comes to improving our immune system or boosting our immune system. So it is not something that is so advisory that we should try, to eat them. And let's see direct effects of too much of what, of processed food. One of these things we have from direct effects of too much processed food, when you consume too much of processed food, there are a lot of side effects you try to get from there. One, you get excess sugar cause weight loss, right? So gain, sorry. So whenever you try to get too much processed food, at the end of the day you gain weight, and which of course it is not good, right? It is not good to be overweighted. It is not good for our health. It is not advisable, right, for our health. Another thing I would say, high salt raises blood pressure. So there are a lot of times today, even in our country, a lot of our mothers, our sisters, brothers, we suffer from this we suffer from the pressure thing. It's because these processed food that we consume, right? Last on Wednesday we were discussing about some of the processed food that that we try to consume. A lot of us sometimes we just sit down and look at a whole entire bottle of soft drink, right? That contain a lot of how do you call it caffeine. We just we take everything within, and which of course it is not healthy for us, right? It is not healthy for us. Increase our sugar rate, and which of course as a person you are not to taking more sugar. It is not good for our body, right? And we say another thing, right? Another thing here is high salt raises blood pressure, right? High salt raises blood pressure. Those foods, right, that are being processed, you weren't dead when they were processing it, right? You don't know the kind of thing that they use to process those food. As long as you take it and bring it right away, you don't really try to try to prepare it, but rather you try to take it in right away. What happened at the end of the day, if the food had a lot of salt and other things in it, it try to affect our health, right? And when it comes to the place where we're going to talk about those diseases that we try to get, or those things, right? uh train train fats increase cholesterol, right? If you try to get too much of fats within yourself, right, you try to get too much of fat, those processed food that include a lot of fats, right? If you try to consume them many times, it affect you. It affect you. So it's something that you have to cut down, right? So that's why we say it is good that you eat this natural food that we listed than the processed food, because the processed food, it comes with a lot of disadvantages, a lot of side effects that lead a lot of us to the hospital last. And in order for us to not be hospitalized, we are saying that we should try to stay away from this food, right? Another thing we want to say, we say direct effects of too much of, right, processed food. Those effects, that's what we are on right now. Another thing is poor eating habit, right? Low physical activities, right? Another thing, these are things that happen to us because you go and take processed food, right? These food are not food that will really help you, to fill your stomach. So the only way to fill your stomach, you have to consume more. Wherein, let's take for example, right? You send for noodles. Let's take for practical example, you try to get noodles, right? You send for noodles and try to, face noodle. You think how many space within you that noodle is going to fill? No, automatically. So you will try to consume more. And knowing that this noodle are being a processed food. And another thing a lot of us we lack is reading the labels of those processed food. We don't read the very labels that have been placed with on this processed food. We just try to consume them, and because of that, today we face a lot of problem, right? So in order for us to not get these side effects, right, we say we should try to stay away from this processed food because it is not something that good for our habit, right? It is not something that good for us. It is not advisable, right? So uh another thing we want to look at here, every food group has a special functions in our body, right? So every food that we take, right, that we talk about, our body needs nutrients. And what are those nutrients? We talk about carbohydrates, we talk about fats, we talk about proteins, right? We talk about minerals, we talk about even hydration, right? We talk about water. Water also needed, right? They are very crucial when it comes to maintaining our health, right? So every one of them play a very significant role when it comes to you know uh, our health. And we say protein. One, let's discuss about protein, right? What Why do you think protein does in our body? We need proteins, right? We need proteins. Our body need proteins, and this is why it does, right? It build muscles and repair tissues. The main functions of proteins that we consume, right? It helps in building our muscles and repair tissues. There have been some tissues in our body, maybe they have been damaged, right? Due to maybe physical activities, or maybe some kind of disease and other things that have been damaged. But whenever we take in those food that contain proteins, it help us a lot, right? It help us a lot because it help us to gain to it help us in repairing those tissue that has been damaged. That's one of the things that you see that protein does for us, right? Repair tissues, right? And sources, right? Where do you think we can get these proteins from? Where you think we generate these proteins that help us, right? Help us when it comes to repairing our tissues. These are sources that we can get protein from, right? Fish. The features we eat, it help us a lot. It give us protein, right? Egg, one of the main source of proteins that we get is egg. Do not joke with egg, my brother. I'm telling you, do not joke with egg. Take egg very very serious because it helps you a lot. Like you said, like we have said here, right? Uh, it build muscles and repair tissues, right? So in order for your muscles to be built, right? Because the thing of this natural food, it help us, gain that natural strength, right? It help us gain that natural strength. So where you think we can get it from? We say from nutrients. And what are those kind of nutrients? We listed carbohydrates, we listed fats, proteins, right? Minerals and other things. So now number one, we talk about protein. We say protein help us, right, in building our muscles and repair tissues. And where do we get this protein from? You'll be asking, my Miles, where can I get protein from? You already have proteins with you all around, even the food that you eat. But let me list those particular food that you're getting from. Fish. There are a lot of us, we don't like the fish thing, right? We love the chicken thing too much, the cold storage things, and which of course these are processed things, right? These things have been taken uh, to the factory, or where you see they give them chemical, just so they can get very big or soon, so they can try to import them or put them on the market, which of course it is not healthy for us, right? So we say protein, right? You get protein from fish. We say eat enough fish. There are some of us, we live around the sea area. We don't even like to take school at least to go to the sea area, try to collect some of these things, try to buy them, right? Let's eat some of these our natural fish, right? Those one are just from the water is going to help us a lot. Another thing, we say egg, right? Egg is very important. You get enough protein from egg. At least within a daytime, try to boil 3 4 eggs, right? Try to eat them. It will help you a lot. It will help you build your immune system. Beans. This one is very important, Beans is very important. Do not joke with beans. I know there are a lot of times we say, when some of us we say when we eat beans, it cause problem for us. But I want to tell you that you get proteins from beans. So do not take beans very like that. You will not eat it on a regular basis, but at least, right, at least in a week time, you try to eat beans 1 or 2 times, and it's definitely gonna help you a lot, right? Another thing, right? We talk about milk. There are a lot of us, we don't drink milk. We don't drink milk, and which of course it is not a healthy style for us, right? At least once in a while, try to buy some of the fresh milk and try to consume them. Definitely, it's going to help you, right? Drink fresh milk is going to help you a lot. It will help your system. Do not take it very lightly. It's very important. Milk is very important. So we say for protein, it helps us, right, repair tissues and build our muscles. And we say, where do we get proteins from? We get proteins. We talk about fish. We talk about egg. We talk about beans. We talk about milk, right? So these things give us protein. So it is good that we try to consume these things, right? It is very good that we consume them. And another thing, we talk about carbohydrate. We talk about carbohydrate, the second thing, right? And why do you think carbohydrate do? It provide energy, those natural energy we need. There are a lot of us, sometimes uh, uh, we feel so weak in our body, our system, everything. We feel so weak and other things. So we say to us, do not joke with your carbohydrate. And the question is, but Miles, where can I get carbohydrate from? You can get these are places that you can get, the sources of carbohydrate. Rice. Yes. So some people have been told not to eat rice because due to some medical condition or other things. But we also get carbohydrates from rice, right? We get carbohydrate from yam. Do not joke with these things. Sometimes when you get to the market, the African market, right? Try to purchase some of these things and try to eat them. It is not every time, you just want to be eating just the rice only, but sometimes you try to get yam too as well. It's so good for us. Potatoes, right? Potatoes is very good for us. We get carbohydrates, right, from potatoes. It is good, right? Carbohydrates, we get it from potatoes, right? We get it from fruits. Another thing is foods, right? Those food that we take in, right? We have the various foods that we take in. We get carbohydrates from them. Another thing we want to talk about, fats, healthy fats, right? Why you think fats it do for us? Fat is very very important. It's very essential, and these are role that fats plays, right? It support brain and hormones function. In order for our brains and hormones to function very well, we must try to get fats, right? It is very good for our fats. And where do you think, what are those sources we get fats from? Right? We get fats from avocado, right? Avocado, do not take avocado lightly. We have fights from them. Nuts, right? Olive oil. I was like, when I was doing my research and other things, I was like, ah, wow, olive oil is very, very good. We must try to get uh, olive oil. We must try to be able to get some of these things. Sometimes you cook a little dry rice, you cook, some things and other things. You try to put olive oil there. It's very good for our health, right? It's very good for our health. Do not take it very lightly. These are things that we get healthy fats from. So it's very good. It will help us a lot, in building our immune systems or keeping us very healthy, right? So another thing we talk about other oil, we talk about fish. Remember we talk about in protein, we discuss about fish. We say do not take fish like that. So mind you, fish also help us with fat, right? Help us with fat. And another thing we want to talk about is vitamin and mineral. These are very key things. They are very essential as well. Vitamins and mineral, right? It strengthens our immune system, right? Our immunity and build regulations. In order for our immune system to keep strong and build regulations, we must take in our vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals. And where do you think we get vitamins and minerals from? We talk about fruits and vegetables. They are very essential. Do not joke with your fruits and vegetables. Take always try to get some of the vegetables from the market. I know sometimes it seems to be very expensive, but mind you, you can gradually try to get them. So try to get fruits and vegetables. It will help you a lot, right? So you can send in your question. We are here to make some clarity on it. So let me take a short break, a water break, and once I get back, I'll try to continue with the discussion.
Yeah. Oh, my TV, light in the world. My TV, shine on the screen. Voices of hope, living the dream from Africa's heart to the world we see. Truth and culture, my TV, my TV, bringing light each day. Stories that guide us, show the way. One love, one voice, one destiny. Welcome TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true. Buena Myers, we honor you. With faith and courage, the journey began. Building a platform for every man. Through trials and growth, the light stays.
So let me say welcome back, and we are here on a very interesting topic tonight. We talk about natural and processed food, and we talk about what are those natural food. We say natural food are those original food, right? Those original food that has been taken directly right from the farms or from our backyard. Those food that we plant, right, and we take directly and try to cook them. These are natural food, right? And we also talk about processed food. These are food that have been manufactured, right? And then we are not talking about we come down by talking about those various natural food and those various processed food and what it does to our body. So we were just discussing just now. We talked about vitamins and then that of minerals. We say minerals, they play a very crucial role in maintaining our health, right? They helps in strengthening our immune system and our body regulation, right? It helps a lot. So we say we should try to take them very, very seriously. We shouldn't joke with them because they play a very crucial role when it comes to maintaining our health, right? So processed food, uh, we say these food are very essential. Yeah, they are very essential. Processed food, these foods are very, very essential. Do not try to joke with it because it helps a lot, right? It helps a lot because we say they are natural food, right? That we consume in the original or minimal author form, right? So we consume them, right, minimal or author form. So they are very essential. They are very, very essential. And we say, where do we get the natural food from? And then we listed some of these things. We talk about beans. We talk about uh, rice that we just plant, right? Those one are self-been cooked, right? They are very essential. And right now we are on sorry, just a meaning. So it is very essential for us to take them very, very serious. So let's talk about whenever these food have been consumed, right? We are coming to another place where we're going to talk about fitness and wellness, right? So what happens when you try to consume this food? Whenever you take in the food, there are a lot of things that happen, right? It help you keep your body, keep you physically fit, right? So healthy eating is not about what avoiding our process completely. So healthy eating is not about you avoiding all the processed food completely. No, some of the processed food are very essential because some of these things that we talk about, we listed, right? We talk about body need nutrients. We talk about proteins, we talk about carbohydrates, we talk about fats, right? We talk about minerals, right? Some of the processed food has them. We also have them, right? So it is not bad for you to consume them. But before you consume them, one of the things I want to advise us here is to also read the label, right? Read those things that you see on the processed food that you also send for, right? Understand those things that they carry, right? You will try to understand, but I think the kind of sugar within this food, the kind of salt within the food, you try to understand all these things because everything are labeled right there. But if you cannot read these things and then you just try to every time you consume those processed food, you consume processed food, it is not good for our health. We want to come to an era where we talk about excessive intakes of highly processed food, right? Excessive intake of highly processed food and unhealthy food can contribute to many serious diseases. Many serious diseases it contribute to, and we say these are diseases that we get from this food, right? One, let's talk about it, one after the other. Too much of sugary drinks and sweet. See why you have from them when you try to consume, because this processed food that we're talking about right now, it contains sugar, right? It contains a lot of sweet chips, right? A lot of time we go to the supermarket, we just see the chips and other things, then we try to consume it more, right? We are not saying it is completely bad, but too much of it, right? These are things it do to you. It gives you diabetes. There are a lot of our people today we suffer from diabetes, obesity, right? It is not good because it gives you it makes you to suffer from fatness, right? In fact, you will start feeling so embarrassed with your body, start feeling about what is happening. And what happens when you have become so big, where obesity, we talk about the bigness of your body, right? You feel so tired every time, you feel weak, you feel so sleepy, and which of course it is not something that, it is not a good habit. Another thing we want to talk about: too much of fried and fatty food. You eating too much of fried and fatty food. We are not saying you cannot eat fried food, right? But it should not be excess, right? Should do not eat it too much. It is not good too much, right? Yeah. And what it does to us: high blood pressure, right? Stroke, kidney disease. So a lot of our people today you see that have been suffering from high blood pressure, kidney disease, or stroke. These are things come from, right? So we are saying that in order for you to not be part and parcel of these things, to not have the disease, for you to not have the diseases, stay away from what? From too much of fried food. Stay away from too much of fried food or fatty food, right? Because as you consume too much of fried and fatty food, this is why you get at the end of the day high blood pressure. Your blood pressure rate increasing, which of course it is not good, right? Our normal blood pressure should be 120 over 80. So when your blood pressure rate try to increase, look at those food that also you are consuming. Sometimes our blood pressure rate can increase because of stress, and other things, but sometimes the food we consume as well also lead to that, right? So we talk about stroke, right? And we talk about kidney disease. Now, all we don't know that we are living, but our kidney, right, has problem. At the end of the day, we go and doctor tell us, we be wondering, well, how am I to get this? It's because of the food that you consume, right? So it is not good that you try to consume those food. So let's take 1 minute break, and then once I get back, we'll try to continue.
Yeah.
Somebody, sorry. So sorry for that, right? I've come out to say, right, it is good that we try to take in this food because it helps us a lot, right? Like for example, that I listed before I took the break, I talked about too much of sugary drinks and sweet. There are a lot of us we are automatically we love sugar too much. Everything about us should be sweet. It is not good, right? It is not good. That's where you try to get diabetes. And diabetes, it is not a good sickness. It is not a good sickness. It is not a good thing. So do not take it lightly, right? Do not take it lightly. Obesity, right? We talk about obesity. You will try to increase. You will see yourself getting so fat. You'll feel like all that enjoyment is not enjoyment. It's destroying you. It is destroying your health. Imagine you will see yourself getting so big, your weight have overweighted and other things, and you feel like, oh yes, I'm really enjoying it. It's not about enjoyment. Do not joke with it. And we say another thing, right? As excess salt intake, right? Do not try to take salt too much. High blood pressure, right? When you try to take in salt too much, what it does, it give you high blood pressure, stroke. A lot of us today that suffering from stroke is because of the too much of salt that we try to take in. And we say kidney disease. Another thing is kidney disease, where our kidney today will face problem because we take in a lot of salt, in which of course we say let's limit the kind of salt that we consume, right? It is not good for our health, right? So you see, if you yourself try to prepare your food now, let's take for the natural food. You yourself decide to cook your own food. You will know the quantity of salt to put within that food. You yourself decide to face your own tea, where you will know the amount of sugar to try to put there. But if you yourself are not doing these things, and you want every time you want to just order it, you want to order it, and as soon as they bring it, you try to consume it, it causes problem for you. That's why you see a lot of times today you read the kind of diabetes rate that our people have today. These are common things that we need to know, and we have to take them very essential, right? Another thing I want to talk about: too much fried and fatty food. Too much fried and fatty food. We should try to stay away from the fried things too much, right? And those fatty food, those food that will help us to gain overweight, we should try to avoid them. It is not good for our health. See what it does to us, right? Heart disease, obesity. So the same problem that you face with too much of sweet or being so fat, obesity, you are overweighted, as it can also where on too much of fat and fatty food. So just imagine now, let's take for example, right? You are consuming too much of sugary drinks and sweet, right? You consume them already. Then you come again, you are eating too much of fried and fatty food. So you see what happened to you? Right away, you try to destroy your immune system. You will destroy your immune system, you will kill them very soon. You will kill them soon that you not even know that you kill them because the too much of how you call it you are taking in, right? The too much of sweet you are taking in is already destroying you. It's causing diabetes, it's causing obesity for you. Then you come here again, you take you get ready again, you take too much of fried food. At the end of the day again, you get the same diabetes. You get the same diabetes, which of course it is not good, right? It causes obesity, it is not good for you, right? So another thing we want to look at: low fruit and vegetable intakes. There are a lot of us we don't like to take in vegetables, we don't like to take in more food, right? Fruit, sorry. It is good for our health, right? It is not every time you just eat those things of rice, rice and other things. No, you must sometimes take in some fruit. Right? Go to the market, see some of the vegetables, try to purchase them, and try to take them because we know that it's so expensive, right? I tell you, it's so expensive. But at least 1 or 2 times in a while, you try to take them. It will definitely help you. It will help you to build your immune system, right? We talk about we talk about our body need nutrients, and where do we have those nutrients from? We talk about proteins, we talk about fats, right? We talk about minerals and all these things that we are listing. This is where you have them from, right? From the vegetables, from the vegetable, from the fruit. So do not take them very lightly, right? Another thing we say: frequent fat food consumption, right? When you are consuming too much of fat food, every time you want to take in fat food, you know what it does to you again. So the thing of the people just getting fat, they feel that it's enjoyment. It is not enjoyment. It's sickness. You have to go for a complete checkup. You have to see medical attention. Do not joke with it. Do not take it like that. Because as you eating it too much, as you consuming it too much of fat food again, it causes you obesity. heart disease. There are some of us we feel oh my heart, my chest, everything is burning, right? We feel these pains sometimes. Listen, it is not because it is not because uh, of how do I call it? Maybe you say you are not taking enough sleep. Maybe you say you are working over time. No, it is not because of them. It's also caused by those food that you are consuming. So you should have a limit on those food that you consume, right? Because this is why it does when you consume too much of fast food, it causes obesity, it causes heart disease, right? It causes digestive disorder, right? You won't be able to digest food too much. The fast food will not allow you too much to for the food to break down. You know, every food that we eat, it has to break down. And how do you think? Right? It's through the process of digestion, right? Right? So in order for the food that you eat to break down, to go to our various parts of our body, to help us to regulate, right? What you need to do is to stay away too much from fast food, right? Fast food won't help you in your digestion time, right? It is not good. Another thing we talk about processed meat and drink food or jack food. Sorry, processed being a jack food. This is another key points I want you to look at. Right, this is why it does. Right, cancer rate. There are a lot of us today. We take it very we take it very light. It. Some of us today we are living with these things because of this food that we try to consume, and which of course it is not good for us. Right. So in order to be safe, we're saying that you should stay away from them. One, your cancer rates, your hypertension. We talk about your cardiovascular diseases, right? Yeah, it is not good. You must try to limit the kind of the kind of processed meat that you try to take in. Limit them, right? Another thing we talk about low water intake, right? There are a lot of us we don't let drinking business. I used to be one person that now I used to love drinking, right? At the end of the day, I start feeling some disorder when it comes to my urine and other things, right? Yeah, I start feeling some disorder and other things. But from the time I decided to make up my mind to always drink, to always drink enough water. Water is very good. You know what it does for you? It keep you hydrated. It keep you hydrated, right? It regulate your body, it regulate your fluids so frequently, right? It regulate it, right? It keep you hydrated, and what it does is that it help you to not get what we call kidney stone, right? It help you whenever you are taking enough water. These are things that you don't have at all within your body, right? So we should take them very, very serious, right? Do not joke with them because they are very essential to us. So we tonight we talk about processed food and we talk about uh, natural food, right? And I'm saying to you, right, as our students from the paramedic department, right, I want to say to you, take your natural food very, very serious, right? Do not joke with your proteins. Do not joke with your minerals, right? We already gave you those sources that you can get them from. Do not joke with it. Take it very, very serious because it will help you a lot, right? We say we get proteins from the first thing protein does, right? It help us build our body and repair tissues, right? And the sources that we get them from, we talk about you must get enough egg, taking enough fish. Yeah, sometimes it might be so expensive, but try to take in. Then we talk about you also get it from milk, and we talk about carbohydrate, right? Do not joke with your carbohydrates because it provides energy. Yeah, it provides our natural energies, and those sources that we get it from is rice, yam, yeah, yam, right? We shouldn't take them very lightly. Potatoes, right? We talk about bread. We also get them from bread and fruits as well, right? And we talk about fats. Do not joke with fat. You know what fat do? Is support our brains and hormones function. In order for our brain to function well, and our hormones as well, we must take fat, right? Very serious. And we say, what are those sources we get them from? Avocado, right? Avocado, we call it butter pear, right? We know butter pear. Try to take them very serious. Nuts, right? Yeah, take nuts very serious. Olive oil, fish as well. Take them very serious. And another thing we talk about vegetables and mineral. They are very essential because it strengthens our immunity, right? And body regulation. Do not throw away your vegetables and minerals, right? And what are those sources you get vegetable and mineral from? We say you get them from what? From fruits and vegetables, right? You get vitamins and minerals. Sorry, vitamins and mineral, right? You get vitamins and mineral from fruit and vegetable. Vitamins and mineral. Take them very, very serious, right? Do not joke with them. Because whenever you have these things, it will keep you very healthy. It will keep you fit. Right? Healthy eating is not about avoiding all processed food completely. Right? It is not about you avoiding all the processed food completely. Right? The goal is balance and moderation. That's the goal of it, right? A balance and moderate. We are not saying you should take away completely, right? So some processed food like yogurt, they are very good, right? We talk about some processed food like yogurt, they are very, very good, right? Freezing vegetables, they are very good, right? Yogurt. Do not take yogurt lightly. Some they try to buy your yogurt and try to take them in. It's very good, right? Yes, so it's help a lot, yeah. And we say reading uh smart choice include some of the choices that we have to do while we send for the processed food, right? Like the yogurt, right? The freezing vegetables. One of the things we'll try to do, reading the food labels. Reading the labels of the food is very essential. Do not take it like this. Read those labels of the food, right? Another thing, choosing foods low in sugar and salt. You must choose food that will be very low when it comes to the sugar and salt weight of that particular food. Because if you try to eat food that contain more sugar and salt, we just listed it just now. We talk about diabetes. You try to get diabetes. We talk about heart attack. We talk about stroke. So in order to not have these things, you should try to avoid, food that contain more sugar and then that of salt, right? Eating more home cooked meal. Oh my God, that's one of the good things I want to say. Always learn to eat your own food. A lot of us, we are so lazy, right? We don't want to make our own food. It is not bad to eat those food like I said, right? But sometimes try to make your own food because it's very healthy. Yeah, try to make your own natural food, cook it. Go in the market, try to get some fish. Yeah, try to buy some rice, some beans, bring them home and try to cook them, season them very well. It will be very good. But while you are cooking this food as well, you should know the quantity of salt to place within them. Yeah, try to know the quantity of salt to place within them because it plays a very serious role as well on your health, right? Drinking enough water daily, on a daily routine. Make water your habit. Yeah, do not try to joke with water. Make water your habit. Drink enough water. Water will help you a lot. Yeah, do not joke with it. So finally, I want to say thank you for joining us, right? Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm the only one here, but we don't have to give up. We have to keep on pushing. Yeah, a lot of my colleagues, they are somehow busy. That's why they are not here tonight. But we are here to provide this information. I hope that these lessons that we learned tonight regarding natural versus processed food, we can take them very, very serious. I said to you previously, natural food are those original food that we consume, and we listed those very natural food we talked about, right? We talk about vegetables, we talk about beans, we talk about rice, we listed all these things, right? And we talk about why we need this natural food because it help us give us nutrients. And what are those nutrients we get? We talk about proteins, we talk about vitamins and minerals, we talk about carbohydrates, right? We talk about fats, right? And we need those sources that we can get them from, right? And the sources has to do with the same things that has to do with beans, that has to do with vegetables. These are things that we all get them from, right? How to do with fruits as well. Take your fruits level very, very serious, right? So it is so good that we take this thing very serious. And we said lately, right? It is not bad for you to consume processed food, but mind you, processed food are somehow in a 50-50 chances, right? It help us, but it also destroy us, right? Because it comes with some side effect. So while you buy the processed food, we say look at it, right? Look at the labels of the processed food. Look at it very well and see what are the kind of sugar it contain, the kind of salt it contain before you try to take them in. Because if you don't know these things, at the end of the day, it will destroy you. And we talk about those possible diseases, right? Or health problems that we face. We talk about diabetes, we talk about obesity, right? These are things that we talk about high blood pressure. Because if you don't look at these things and you try to consume them, right? These are problems you face. So I want to close by saying, right? Uh, the food choice we make every day directly affects our health. So the food choices that we make on a daily basis, it determine the kind of healthy life that we have. If you make a bad food choice, if you decide to just throughout your life to just be taking processed food throughout, that's it. You destroy your own self. You cause for your own diabetes, right? Because these are things you contain, right? You cause for your own high blood pressure, right? You cause for your own weak immunity, right? These are things that will happen to you if you take processed food too much, because if you don't read the label content, label content that is on them, try to know what they contain. You just take it in, it become problem for you, right? So we say, um, I made a little note, and this is why I'm about to say to us, right? The food choices we make every day that directly affect our health. So whatever choice you make today will determine the kind of healthy life you're gonna live, right? If you make bad choice, that's it. But I'm saying to you, do not make that bad choice. So try to get more natural food, right? It affects our health, our energy, and our future well-being. Our future well-being also matters a lot. Sorry. So you want to be 30, 40 years old, you see yourself, you start trimming, you see yourself every time you just sick, 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 sick. No, right? How will you be a young man? Well, you are 30 years old or 35, maybe 40 years old, very young man, you see yourself, you are suffering from diabetes, right? You are suffering from diabetes, you are suffering from kidney problem, because the kind of food that you eat earlier that will affect you now at the future time. And I'm saying that we should try to put heart to them. Right now, if you someone who always been loving the kind of processed food, right? I want to say let's try to put heart to them and try to take our natural food very serious, because it will help you a lot, right? Natural foods, right? Our natural food should be consumed more frequently because they nourish, protect the body naturally. They nourish and protect our body naturally, right? So it is advisable, right, that we try to consume more natural food from those various sources that we talk about, right? We get the various sources here, right? We talk about we get some sources here. We talk about the vitamin, from the vitamins and mineral. We talk about the sources that you can get them from is fruit and vegetables, right? So try to consume more uh natural food, because it will help you a lot when it comes to nourishing you and protecting, and protecting our health, right? So do not take them like they protect our health naturally, right? Highly Another thing we say, highly processed food, right, should be limited, because overconsumption increases the risk of chronic disease. So the level of processed food you are taking right now, we are saying that you should try to limit it, try to have a limit to it, right? Because it is not good for you. It will lead to kind of disease that you don't expect yourself to get into, in which, of course, you don't want to see yourself as a young person at the age of 20s, you in your early 20s or late 20s, 30s, early 30s, and you see yourself, you are suffering from diabetes, right? You are suffering from heart attack. When we talk about stroke, right? You are suffering from these things. As a young person, it is not advisable that you try to consume more processed food. So take your natural food very serious, right? Take it very essential. Try to consume it, right? Yeah. Stop the laziness, because some of these things, the reason why we get ourselves involved into more processed food, because we are so lazy, right? And the reason why your laziness will continue to increase is because you continue to take things that cause the laziness, because it will make you so sleepy, make you weak every time you want. Oh no, man, yeah, it just build a kind of mentality within you that, oh, the thing is a fast food, right? Fast food, cook up, then you want to make it quick. No, make sure, put the food in the pot, let it dawn, right? Let it boil, right? And dawn. Make sure that everything you put there, the seasoning, in fact, those seasoning and other things that we put in the food, make sure that it is well measured, because if it is not well measured, it also cause serious problem. So tonight I want to encourage us. I am not saying that uh you should not take processed food at all, but I'm saying limit it, right? Because too much of it will lead to disease problem, right? But I'm saying take your natural food very, very serious. So tonight I've been here with you as a panelist. Our people are very, very busy tonight. That's why they are not here, but we have to provide this information, and most especially it has to do with our health science. Yeah. So I have to provide this information. It is very essential, though. It is very essential. The thing of processed food and health, natural food is very essential, and you must know the kind of processed food that you consume, because consuming those too much of processed food that contain the sugar, that contain a lot of salt, it is not safe for our lives. It leads us to other diseases that we are not prepared for, right? But when you get this natural food, it gives you that natural strength. it boosts your immunity, right? Boost your immune system. So I want to say thank you so much for being with us tonight, and we hope to be back tomorrow with another edition of the show on the Myers TV, where we are talking basically on nutrition and well-being, right? Those kind of nutrients that our body needs. We talk about proteins, we talk about carbohydrates, we talk about fats, we talk about vitamins and minerals. We say we need them, and we give you the sources that you can try to get these things from. So just do not take them like that. I'm gonna be here tomorrow again with another interesting topic. So let's take let's try to call it a day, and we hope that tomorrow again we can meet. Do have yourself a wonderful night as we meet again. Share the show as many as you can do for us. Invite others to be part of the discussion. See you tomorrow and have yourself a wonderful night. God bless you.
TV. A vision was born with a purpose so true.